The second person singular is you. The first person singular is I. The second person singular is you. The third person singular is he, she, it. You get it this way. The first person singular, I. The second person singular, you. Third person singular, he, she, and it. He is used with an individual, singular, a male. She is used with individual or singular, female. It is used with singular, sometimes could be neutral, not female, not male, and sometimes it is used with people. For example, if I knock the door and people from inside, because they don't know me, they ask, who is knocking the door? I would say, it's me. Only in this case, I use it with myself because I am unknown for the people inside the room or inside the class. If somebody calls you, or if I call somebody, I would say it is Hasabu speaking, because the other person doesn't know who I am, so I have to identify myself, and only in that case I can use the pronoun it with myself. The pronoun it is usually used with things or animals, things that are not humans, most of the time, but in some cases we use it with people. Okay, so this is singular. In all these cases, we have talked about the singular. Now there is a plural, of course. Plural is more than one. Singular is one thing, one person, one individual. Plural, more than one. 2, 3, 4, 100, thousands, whatsoever. So the plural of I is we. We call it first person plural. And the plural of you is you itself. Because if you are talking to someone, it doesn't matter how many the people you're talking to. If the person is just one person, you use you. And if they are more than one person, you still use you. So the singular and the plural of you remains you as it is. You never change it. Okay? The plural of the third person is they. They. So we change he into they, she into they, and it into they. Okay, I'll give you an example. I would say if a student wants to know more about my lectures, if students wants to know more about my lectures, they should subscribe to my channel. This is it. You see, in the beginning I said a student because I'm talking about one person, a student. The thing is that I don't know whether the student is a girl or a boy. I don't know whether a man or a woman. So if I use he, it would be a little bit of a problem. Or if I use she, because I have no idea whether a male or a female. Therefore, it's good for me to avoid this kind of problem by using they. I could actually say, if a student wants to know more about my lecture, she should subscribe to my channel. Or I can say, if a student wants to know more about my lectures, he should subscribe to my channel. But I want to avoid this whole thing and use they. So if a student wants to know more about my lectures, they should subscribe to my channel. This is it, okay? Now we know the pronouns. I am going to put them in an order. As we say, we call them personal because they refer to persons, pronouns, and they are pronouns at the same time. You have I, we, you, they, he, she, it. We have 7 personal pronouns in English language. But remember, these are just personal pronouns in the fact or with the fact that they are personal pronouns, they are subject pronouns. These are personal pronouns, but they are subject because remember, we have personal pronouns that are object. So what is the difference between the subject and the object? The subject is the person who does the action. The person who does the action. For example, teaching is an action, right? The person who is doing the action is me. That's why I said I am teaching you English. So I am the subject of this sentence. I am teaching you English. In this case, I am the subject of the action, the subject who does the action. Okay, if I want to have the object of I, the object of I is me. Me. I only use me when the action is done by somebody else to me. Now, you are making a video of me while I am talking. That means you are the one who does the action. You are the subject, I am an object. Because it is not me who does the action, you. So that's why I use me. The object of we is us. Us. Of course, we can only use us if an action has been done onto us by somebody, and of course not me alone, but with a group of people. Here I am alone, so I can talk about myself as I if I am subject, or me if I am an object. If there is somebody with me, I can say we as subject and us as object. If I'm talking about you, you will be you as it is. There is no change. I am talking to you. You are watching me. So there is no change. It is you either ways. While they, as a subject pronoun, changes to them as an object pronoun. So if we have some students right here, and I'm talking and I'm teaching them some English, I would say, I am teaching them English. Because I'm not talking to them, of course, I'm talking to you. They're outside of this conversation. That's why I refer to them as they, and in this case, because I am the one who does the action, they will be them. I am talking to them. And he, as a subject, which always refers to a male singular, would be him. Him. She, as a female singular, would be her. It, as neutral, not male, not female, would be it, as it is. But you have 2 pronouns, they never change, whether they are subject or object. You have you will stay as it is, and it will stay as it is, whether it is subject or it is an object. And remember, the subject always comes at the beginning of the sentence. The subject always comes at the beginning of the sentence. And earlier today I said the subject pronoun is substitute for the person. That means sometimes in a sentence we can find a person, a noun. It is a substitute for a proper noun of a person. Let's say my father speaks English. Okay. My father is a subject because he is the one who speaks English. So he's a subject. And speaks is a verb with S because it is present simple. And English is an object because English, the action of speaking has been done onto English. Because I use a noun is a father. If I would like to substitute or change the noun with a pronoun, then I will look at father. Father, is he one person or more? Is he a male or a female? Of course, father is a singular and a male. That's why instead of my father, I would say he speaks English. Instead of my father speaks English, I can say he speaks English. My mother cooks very well. My mother cooks very well. My mother is a subject. Remember, as you can see, the subject always comes at the beginning of a sentence. Cooks is the verb. Very well is an adverb of manner. The adverb of manner always asks question, how? How does my mother cook? The answer would be she cooks very well. This is an adverb of manner. So here I could substitute my mother with one of these pronouns, and because my mother is clearly a woman, a female, and a singular, one person, then I have to say she cooks very well. My mother cooks very well. She cooks very well. These are examples of explaining that we use subject pronouns instead of proper nouns. Proper nouns like John, Peter, my father, the teacher, the student, so whatsoever. These are proper nouns. If you don't want to use proper noun, you can eliminate it and use the subject pronoun instead. The object pronoun never comes at the beginning of a sentence. It never comes at the beginning of a sentence. The sentence always starts with a subject in English. The sentence in English always starts with a subject. It doesn't matter whether it is a noun, a proper noun, or a pronoun. It depends on you. You can use a proper noun like my father speaks English, or you can use instead a pronoun like he speaks English. I can say my mother cooks very well, or instead of my mother, I can say she cooks very well. Another example, my parents are fine. My parents are fine. My parents is subject. Are is the verb, and by the way, are is not a main verb, it is a helping verb. This sentence doesn't include a main verb, it only includes a helping verb, and later we will explain what do we mean by a main verb and helping verb. Fine is an adjective, it describes how do my parents do, whether they are sick, they are fine, they are not very fine, so on. So my parents, if I'd like to substitute my parents with a pronoun here, what pronoun would you think I should use? What pronoun? Well, clearly parents are two persons. They're not just one person. If one person, there would be no S. This is the S of plural, of course. So as long as I say my parents, and as long as they are plural, they, you see, I use they, right? So the correct pronoun here would be they are fine. My parents are fine, they are fine. Okay, simply, Most of the time, the subject in a sentence is a noun, a proper noun. However, sometimes we replace